Paul Kopelman from Iberdrola Renewables talks about the role wind energy plays in Pennsylvania's new clean energy economy.
Iberdrola Renewable Energies is the U.S. subsidiary of the world's largest wind power owner. And one of the reasons that we chose to locate our northeastern development and business office in Radnor, Pennsylvania, here in Delaware County, is in part because of Pennsylvania's leadership in promoting renewable and alternative energy. We, of course, can point to the passage of Pennsylvania's Alternative Energy Portfolio Standard, and that's creating a significant market for renewable energy credits and leading to large investments in commercial-scale wind power across Pennsylvania and the entire PJM, the Mid-Atlantic electricity grid. And what's been neat for us to see is the fact that these pieces of legislation and policies have been championed by governors and legislators and regulators on both sides of the aisle. The energy legislation pending is particularly timely as we're seeing the renewable energy business grow. Global companies like Iberdrola Renewables are going to invest in regions and states that have the most favorable policy environments. And as we've talked about, Pennsylvania has many of those favorable attributes to promote renewable energy. So the bills before the House and the Senate are some of the last remaining key pieces to encourage renewable energy development throughout the Commonwealth. Incremental state funding can be the difference between projects being economical in Pennsylvania versus a developer bringing them to another state. So investments in wind energy in Pennsylvania bring those projects, bring those jobs, and bring those benefits to Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania is poised to not only dramatically shift how we make electricity, creating new jobs and spurring huge new investments in the Commonwealth, we also have an opportunity to change how we use electricity. Inefficient buildings, heating and cooling systems, lighting, and lack of information about how much energy is costing at any given moment is resulting in enormous waste of energy. Through an array of demand-side strategies like energy efficiency upgrades, green buildings, and smart electric meters, we can substantially reduce our energy consumption, saving every electricity customer money and improving health in the bargain. Rebecca Flora, Executive Director of the Green Building Alliance in Pittsburgh, dedicated to saving energy and reducing environmental impacts in the built community, talks about the need for action around energy conservation. Doing so will create new markets for building supplies and many great green jobs.
The highest level of carbon impact is through electricity use within commercial buildings. And so to the extent that we can reduce that electrical use through conservation, because we're not doing a lot of new construction, particularly in western Pennsylvania, we have the opportunity to save those building owners a lot of money and reduce our overall carbon footprint, because most of our electricity in western Pennsylvania does come from coal sources, which are a huge contributor to carbon emissions in our atmosphere. A very large component of green buildings is around energy. And so to the extent that we can help the market advance and to adopt green building strategies, either through legislation or at least leadership through the public sector, is an important part of that whole equation. And really, once again, it's a win-win. People save money, we reduce emissions, improve health, and provide opportunities for our economy in terms of new job options. The really great opportunity, which I think we've been a little slow to catch on to, is that really what we're talking about is more than just green buildings. It's not just about design and construction of the building. It really is a whole new market for building products. And so there's an opportunity within our state to essentially supply an entire green building market trend that's going on right now around the country and create jobs. I think, not only within our existing businesses and manufacturers, but potential for innovation in terms of new product development, and then, of course, opportunities for recruiting new businesses to our region that are looking for a North American headquarters location or an East Coast location.
Throughout Pennsylvania's communities, existing buildings are quietly wasting energy and costing electric customers far too much, not to mention accounting for at least a third of our global warming pollution. Paul Spiegel, founder and CEO of Practical Energy Solutions, provides services to a growing number of clients with large buildings. By carefully examining existing systems and facilities, the company is able to optimize performance and significantly increase efficiencies, cutting carbon footprints and costs. So what are some of the benefits this provides to businesses, institutions, and communities?
Well, there's a lot of reasons. I'll start with some basic ones, and the first is that you can save your clients money in their operations and just cutting their costs. If it's a business, that money goes right to their bottom line instead of being an operating expense. If they're in an office building, you cut their energy use 50 cents to $1 a square foot, suddenly they're that much more profitable. There's also, if you look at society as a whole, there's environmental benefits to using less energy. You have less emissions from the electricity generation, obviously, or the energy use if you're using gas and oil for heat, things like that. So by cutting your energy use, cutting costs, you're lowering your environmental impact, your carbon footprint. And it's actually a nice thing for businesses to be able to promote. But if you look at schools and school districts, they're always underburdened for raising taxes and things like that. And if they can cut their operating expenses, the options are maybe they don't have to raise taxes, or they can use that money towards direct educational programs rather than just, there's no real benefit to the students to spending more money on energy.
Yeah.
So you cut your energy use. You look at certain school districts, they might have an electric bill or an energy bill of $3 million a year. So if you're cutting that 10 to 20%, that's significant money that's now available for their programs each year.
One of the important strategies Pennsylvania can implement is providing all electric customers with smart electric meters and options for pricing that tie time of use with rates paid.
Yeah, having the smart metering gives them the type of information that I already generate from my individual clients, but some of this can happen even down at the residential level, where people can manage their energy use with the type of information that I'm giving my clients for a 100,000 square foot office building. Now someone with a 1,500 or 2,000 square foot house will know exactly what they're spending on energy and when they're spending it, and now they can manage their energy use. And it's amazing how people's behavior changes when they have information to base their decisions on.
Vast improvements in energy efficiency in existing structures need to be made in order to cut costs and to prevent energy waste. But new construction projects can also set the bar much higher in terms of energy supply and costs, using existing technologies and materials. Dan Orzak, founder of Earth Rising Homes, is setting the pace in Chester County.
Earth Rising Homes is building green homes in Chester County. What we're doing is unique, I believe, nationally. We're building homes that have no heating or cooling bills. The way we're doing that is, first of all, building them extremely efficient. So we're reducing the heating and cooling load significantly. And then we're meeting that heating and cooling load with geothermal heat pumps, which are then powered by solar panels on the roof that most builders don't have. I think most conventional builders are stuck in the traditional mindset that energy efficiency is an added cost that makes it harder to sell their homes. And that's where state public policy, state financing, public financing can really come in handy, because it can provide that sort of added boost to allow conventional builders and homeowners to make that jump.
We've heard from but a few of Pennsylvania's clean energy leaders. No matter where we look, the opportunities exist to build on the progress that's already been made by these businesses, organizations, and Pennsylvania policies. But in order to stay competitive, and better yet, to lead the way into tomorrow's clean energy economy, the legislature has to act now to ensure that we transform the way we make and use energy. We support energy conservation programs and initiatives for developing new renewable energy resources and green buildings that will create good, new permanent jobs, save consumers and businesses money, reduce unhealthy pollution, and fight global warming. We know that in Pennsylvania, clean energy means great green jobs. Join us by contacting your state elected officials today. Visit www.greatgreenjobsforpa.org for more information.